Professor of Civil Engineering Department, NIT Rourkela. I'm going to teach this subject, that is water resource engineering. In this subject, in this first class, I'll teach you the detailed syllabus, the books required, what are the objectives, what are the field application of the study. The detailed syllabus that I will describe here, the whole syllabus I have divided into four parts: Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, Model 4. In the first module, I'll discuss about this precipitation, its measurement and analysis. Here the first chapter, that is hydrologic cycle, catchment area, watershed, rainfall, its characteristics, rain gauges, non-recurring gauges, recurring type, average rainfall over catchment, evapotranspiration, pan evaporation, pan coefficient, infiltration, W index and time index. What is this hydrologic cycle? Here we learn about all the process involved in the hydrologic cycle. Since it is a cyclic process, evaporation, then condensation, then precipitation, then again infiltration, runoff, all the terms that we'll discuss. Again there will be evaporation. This is a cyclic process. So in this cyclic process that we will discuss, all the process involved in here that we will discuss. How evaporation occur, when it occur, how condensation occur, how precipitation occur, what are different types of precipitation, that we'll discuss. And the different losses like infiltration losses, evapotranspiration losses, evaporation, transpiration, both that we'll discuss. The catchment area and watershed. Catchment area, watershed means the area which contribute water to the river. Okay, that we'll discuss. Means basin, what is basin, what is watershed, what is catchment area. We will all discuss. What is ridge line, that everything will be discussed here. Rainfall and its characteristics. Different types of rainfall, forms of rainfall, and different types of rainfall, how it occur, that we'll discuss. The measurement of rainfall, rain gauge, non-recurring gauging station, gauging, that we'll discuss. Recurring type, non-recurring type, both. How to estimate the mean rainfall, that will be discussed here. Evaporation, evapotranspiration will be discussed. Evaporation means that is the evaporation means, that is the escape of water molecules from the surface, and it deals with this barren land or lake or water body. Evapotranspiration means evaporation plus water transpiration. In case of vegetation, there will be evaporation from the leaves, from the branches, from the soil below their vegetation. And transpiration means the water which is used for photosynthesis by the plants. So in case of plants, we combine, to simplify the process, we combine both. There is evaporation and transpiration, which is called evapotranspiration. Infiltration, that is the movement of water towards ground surface, into the ground surface, and that infiltration losses occur due to the pores of soil. After pores filled with the water, again the water particle will move into the ground surface and join the groundwater table. The different infiltration is there: percolation, seepage, deep percolation. So different types of losses are there. Means overall you can say it is infiltration loss, which is major loss. W index and phi index. W index and phi index is that infiltration loss, that is represented by these two terms, that is W index and phi index. That will be discussed here in detail. Discharge measurement. Discharge measurement, here we'll discuss about how discharge is measured in the river, how stage is measured in the river, how velocity is measured. That means using current meter, the velocity is measured. That current meter, different types of current meter that will be discussed. How velocity will be measured, that will be discussed, and the mathematical formula involved in this. And at last, all the methods of discharge measurement will be discussed here. There is area velocity method, there is dye dilution method, okay, and the method which is followed by the CWC, Central Water Commission, that will be discussed. Okay. Next chapter, that is hydrograph. Hydrograph, you know, that is the temporal distribution of, it is a plot between the discharge and time, or you can say temporal distribution of discharge. This is the plot of hydrograph. This is the peak flow, peak discharge. This is called base flow. Okay, how base flow is calculated, how base flow is separated from this hydrograph, and how this peak flow is estimated, what is this is the base time period. Okay, that will be discussed here. Different types of hydrograph, like unity hydrograph, yes hydrograph, instantaneous unity hydrograph, synthetic unity hydrograph, that will be discussed. What is runoff hydrograph will be discussed. What runoff hydrograph means, direct runoff. That is also called direct runoff hydrograph. Means after deducting this base flow portion, because base flow, you know, that is the due to this base flow contribution due to this from the groundwater. There, but this is actually always minimum flow will be there in the river. But when there will be precipitation, there will be rainfall. Then if you deduct that, due to that precipitation, the discharge will vary like this. So after deducting this base flow, whatever the hydrograph will get, that is called direct runoff hydrograph, DRH. Unity hydrograph means it is the hydrograph of 1 cm excess rainfall. 1 cm excess rainfall. It is also hydrograph. If we know this unity hydrograph, it is actually constant for a station, for a particular station, for a particular basin. For a particular station, it is constant because it depends upon the basin characteristics. So if you know the hydrograph 1 cm excess rainfall, 1 cm excess rainfall, okay, 1 cm excess rainfall, then if you know the precipitation, because it is fixed, if you have the precipitation in this rainfall data, excess precipitation data, then directly we can estimate this flood hydrograph. This flood hydrograph we can estimate. Just if you include the base flow, you will get without including base flow, you will get direct runoff. You include the base flow, you will get the flood hydrograph. Next is S hydrograph. S hydrograph is the hydrograph. Its shape is S. Shape is S type. It is a cumulative type of discharge. We'll discuss in detail why it is used, when it is used. Instantaneous unity hydrograph, that will be discussed. What is instantaneous unity hydrograph? Hydrograph means actually it is also unity hydrograph, but at an instantaneous time. Synthetic unity hydrograph. Many times there is no data available to estimate this unity hydrograph. The unity hydrograph, to estimate this unity hydrograph, data is not available. Therefore, the empirical equations are used to estimate this peak flow. Okay, this peak flow. Let this is your unity hydrograph. This is unity hydrograph. This peak flow, to estimate this peak flow, the best time. Okay, there is empirical equations. Using empirical equations, okay, that is derived. This unity hydrograph is derived. That is called synthetic unity hydrograph. Next, duration curve, flow duration curve, flow mass curve, that will be discussed. Flow mass curve, and these are the nothing but the cumulative discharge versus time. Cumulative discharge versus time. That is actually used to know the volume of reservoir required, volume of storage required. If you know the demand, if you have the demand plot, okay, this is the demand plot, then from this flow mass curve you can estimate whether the excess flow, okay, for which the storage required, and the surplus and the shortage of flow water required, okay, for the per 100% to meet the demand, the shortage of water required, for that storage is required. So that is discussed here, okay, that is estimated here. Next is flood control. Flood control means the flood, in flood control, total flood, maximum flood is estimated, okay, using different methods. And then how to control that maximum flood, different frequency analysis, statistical analysis is studied here, okay, flood prediction, maximum flood prediction, and methods of flood control, how to control that flood, different control measures are discussed here. In the last here we will discuss flood routing, reservoir routing, channel routing. Here in the reservoir routing, channel routing means, let me delete erase. Let me erase everything. It is okay. Okay, next is this flood routing, reservoir routing, or channel routing. What is the RAS routing? Means it is the let this is your hydrograph, okay, let this is the channel. At this station we know this hydrograph due to particular flood event, due to particular rainfall event, this is the hydrograph, okay, that we know. How the shape of this hydrograph changes when the flood wave moves from this upstream station to this downstream station, how it changes, how cliff flow changes, how the best time changes, that is discussed. Means the evaluation or estimation of the flood hydrograph at any downstream gauging stations using the flood hydrograph at one upstream location, at one or more than one upstream locations, okay. Okay, so this is about flood routing or channel routing. Particularly this is called channel routing. Reservoir routing means that is used for a reservoir operation. There is area elevation curve, how much area of reservoir between the reservoir area and the elevation, there is curve that is fixed for a particular reservoir, and the discharge, the outflow discharge with respect to elevation, that is also fixed. And using different methods we will study this routing procedure so that reservoir operation can be done without, means reservoir operation means they should meet demand, but to meet the demand, the reservoir, the volume of the water in the reservoir should be sufficient. There should not be surplus, there should not be shortage. Just to manage this reservoir routing is carried out. In the last we will discuss the river training works, means the river control measures or training works, what training works is required in the river just to stop the overtopping of the flood water, okay, that will be discussed here. Next is dock and harbor. Dock, you know, dock harbor, dock, you know, dock is the ship for maintenance and that for that's repair work, for repair and maintenance work. The ship are placed in one, like in airport also, okay, that there is a different place that is called docks. Harbor is the place where these ships are parked, okay, to make it safe against any natural calamities. If there is any natural calamities, like a cyclone is coming or something, so to make it safe, to keep it safe, the ships, okay, to keep the safe, then these harbors are constructed where it is the ships are parked. So here the natural and artificial harbors are different types of harbors that will be discussed. Select some sites, study of wind, tides and wave actions, accretions, denudation, the principle of construction of breakwater, jetties, wet floating docks, that will be discussed, okay. Mainly the principle behind the construction of this docks and harbor is usually will discussed. All these terms will be discussed in detail, okay. These are the books which should be followed. Okay, K. Subramanian. It is a very popular book. Okay, that can be used. Engineering Hydrology by K. Subramanian. Hydrology and Water Engineering by K. C. Patra. That is also used. For docks and harbor, Okay, this R. Srinivasan. There is that should be used. Handbook of Applied Hydraulics by Benty Chow. Benty Chow should be used. Benty Chow is a good author book, very popular. Next, learning objective. By studying this subject, what you learn? By studying this subject, the basic process in hydraulic cycle, all the processes involved in the hydraulic cycle. Okay, how this process happen, how hydraulic cycle happen, that will be discussed. That you can learn by studying this subject. You can learn this precipitation, different types of precipitation, forms of precipitation, the distributions with respect to space and time, and spatio-temporal distribution of rainfall. That is that you can learn, and you can analyze the data, the precipitation data, that can be learned. Discharge measurement, you can learn how to measure discharge in river. What is the how current meter is used, and how velocity is measured, how stage is measured. That will be discussed here. That you can learn after studying this subject. Runoff you can estimate using different methods. Hydrograph you can plot. Okay, that hydrograph, once you estimate this hydrograph at any station, that is most important to estimate the flood. Okay, and using this mass flow curve, you can do storage facilities required, storage volume required, that you can estimate. Okay, means what should the reservoir volume, that you can measure here using the demand curve and the mass flow curve. Flood routing process you can learn. Flood routing process means that I told that estimation of hydrograph at any downstream station using the at any upstream station, using the hydrograph at any upstream station. Reservoir routing, channel routing can be learned using after this studying this subject. Okay, and you can familiar with the docks and harbor, different terms involved here, and the principles involved in the construction, that you can learn. Okay, this is about learning objectives. Many things you can learn by studying this subject. It's very important as far as this civil engineering and water engineering is concerned. How you will apply in the field after studying this subject? Is it useful to apply in field? Yes. The precipitation measurement, you can measurement of precipitation and its analysis. Okay, that apply, that you can apply. Okay, when you design a hydraulic structure, dams, barrage, okay, for that flood details of hydraulic study is required. Not only maximum flood, but but also the submergence due to construction, and maximum height of dam required. Everything, this hydrologic part, okay, it is required if you are going to design these structures. If you are going to analyze and estimate the flood in spatio-temporal scale, then you can apply by studying this subject. You can measure the discharge, okay, in the river. When you are measuring the discharge in the river, that you can apply. Okay, this subject is you can apply. Okay, if you are going to design flood control measures, like the design of dikes, design of levees, okay, all these things. Okay, what are the design, what should the height, width, everything. Okay, when what should the alignment, everything in the design, that you can apply this study, this subject. This subject is also applicable in the design of construction of docks and harbors. Okay, only hydrologic part, that means the height of water, the flood, what should be the submergence of the flood, if there is any natural calamities. Okay, the maximum statistically you can analyze the flood, or you can analyze physical based analysis you can do. Okay, the docks harbor design you can apply in this subject. So all these things, okay, not really in this it is not only limited to this application. There are also various applications. Okay, field application you can apply this study. Also rain gauge, different types of rain gauge, how it is measured in rain gauge, that you can apply. The subject can be applied. Okay, it is up to this. So this much. Thank you so much.